shipper to get mad at them or find out that they're screwing the truck driver. They don't ever want all that to be. They don't want to be exposed, and that's why that I said on that video that let's expose these shippers and these customers and these. Sometimes the receiver pays for the shipment. Most times the shipper pays for the shipment. But anyway, my point is, when I say let's expose them as truck drivers, let's make it a habit that the shipper and the customer knows exactly what you hauled that freight for. Why? That way that shipper is going, wait a minute, you're hauling it for $2 a mile? I'm paying $4 a mile for that crap. Plus I paid $1,000 for you to tarp it. And you're telling me you only got $100 to tarp it? What?
Right.
And plus I'm paying this, and plus I'm paying. I mean, see, that's going to piss them off. When they find out what you're moving it for and what the broker's getting for it, I mean, the whole freaking brokerage company is going to come unglued. It's just like that guy chewed me out that one day because I told that shipper, he come out there and says, you truck drivers are really screwing us over. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he said, you guys charge so much money to move freight. It's ridiculous. I said, man, I'm not hardly even making any money on this load. I'm barely making any money. I said, this is what I'm making on this load right here. Look, and I showed it what it paid on the email. I said, see, that's what I'm making right there. I said, and when I pay for my fuel and I get unloaded and then I got a deadhead up out of Florida, I ain't made no freaking money. Oh, that's what you're making? And he went stomping off and ran back up in the building. And a few hours later, I'm driving down the road, and all of a sudden I get this phone call, bring, 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 bring. Hey, this is owner blah, 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 brokerage company and trucking company, blah, 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 and giving all this titles and everything. And I said, yeah, what can I do for you? Hey, you were over at blah, 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 blah today, and you were talking to the shipper over there. You didn't happen to mention how much you were hauling the freight forward, did you? I said, yeah, I told him what I was hauling the freight for. Well, how long you been into trucking? I don't know, 31 years or so. Well, you ought to know better than that by now. You don't go around telling shippers what you haul freight for. I said, we gotta be able to make this kind of money. We got all kinds of bills to pay. We got all kinds of insurances. We got this. I mean, he was going all about the reasons why he had to make the money and why I should get bent over and get screwed and why I should be protecting him screwing me.
Oh, my.
And I was like, I don't think so. You know what I mean? In fact, the more I think about it, the more I believe that every single truck driver should tell the shipper and the receiver what they hauled the freight for, and that they should know what they're hauling that freight for. That way, you're going to keep that broker honest. Because really, I don't know if we can ever run the brokers out of the business, but one thing that we can do, we can certainly expose them for what they're doing to the truck drivers.
Hey, you're getting passionate. You're hitting the steering wheel. You're getting stomped. You were hitting the steering wheel like a preacher hits the pulpit.
Yeah, well, I've been dealing with brokers for 30 years, and I don't like them. I told a guy the other day, he said, oh, my uncle is a broker. And I said, well, I hate to tell you this, but I ain't got nothing nice to say about brokers. Not a freight broker. I don't have nothing nice to say about a freight broker.
So, do you think it's possible at all? I mean, is there hope at all? Is there a glimmer of hope at all that there's an honest freight broker, or are they like politicians?
If there's an honest freight broker, he ain't making or she ain't making any money. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. If there is an honest freight broker, I'm sure they would be making money because they're supposed to get what they're supposed to get is around 5% of the load. They're not supposed to get any more than 5%. But in reality, I haul loads where them brokers are getting 50, 60, 70% of the load. And that's just ridiculous. I hauled a load coming out of, I can't even remember where it was, but I hauled it. I hauled a load for $2,000 and the broker got $1,000 out of it. You want to tell me why a broker got $1,000 out of a load that paid me $2,000?
Yeah, and they didn't do anything but make a phone call.
Well, they did do something. They have a job. They don't just sit there and make phone calls. They have responsibilities. They have insurance to pay. They have bond to pay. And, they have negotiations and stuff. So they should, get paid for their services. No human being should get bent over. No human being's work is worthless. And no human being should ever be used or abused. And everybody's work should be paid. And so brokers should be paid. But should they sit there and take money from truck drivers just because they're in control of it? No. But if they put in an honest day's work, then they should be paid for it as well.